Anwai koka ko mea hoki para e ai. Amena mea hanu hanu. E ho'o hiwa hiwa ia nei makola e ai. E hui puhui ka vai vai. O koka ko mau kupuna la e kalama kahikinga. Kahiki mai aloha kupuna e. Kuka hali ai tali awai kini. Wai ale ale molale. Eia e nā pua lei moki hana. Kama vai lua lani ua vehi e. E vehi ke ia aloha e. Aloha ku one hana ue. Aloha no, aloha e. Mano kalani po, aloha e. Aloha no, aloha e. Mano kalani po, aloha e. Aloha no, aloha e. Mano kalani po, aloha e. Aloha no kako e opo mai ka ia opo. Malama pono pokino, auhane, ane molele. Mama ueno.
Good morning, everyone. So I invite you to take a deep breath. As we bask in this amazing surrounding this morning, we recognize that we are indeed in a very sacred space. And I want to say thank you to Kumu, Sabra, Kauka for leading us this morning. Sabra teaches Hawaiian studies and hula at Island School. She also coordinates the Kauai Hawaiian Studies Kapuna component of the Department of Education. And she serves as the president of Napoli Coast Ohana, caretakers of Nuala Kai State Park. I hope I said all of that correctly. So thank you for being here with us today. Thank you all for being with us here today. My name is Reverend James Mellon, and I am from the Global Truth Center in North Hollywood, California. And I have had the pleasure of being Reverend Rita and Reverend Patrick's teacher in the ministerial school. And that's why I'm standing here today. And I wanted to start with a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. He wrote this. He said, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." So today we get to celebrate that trail that has been started by these two amazingly loving people. I imagine, since you all know Rita and Patrick, that when you look at them you think one thing: love. Because that's who they are, and they always have been. That's what I see when I look at Reverend Rita and Reverend Patrick. Pure, unconditional love. And the trail that they've started to dig out here is the Center for Spiritual Living, Kaua'i. And I can tell you that I remember the day Rita and Patrick came back and said, "We're moving to Kauai to open a center." And it wasn't like we may go to Kauai, or it might be a good idea. No, it wasn't that. It was, we are moving to Kauai to open a center. Yeah. And there will be nothing stopping us. And so today we're standing here, sitting here, in what was their initial desire. And it all starts with desire. One of the things we teach. Now the question is, if it starts with a desire, it must be met with a belief. That inside of you that believes that this desire is not just a possibility, but an absolute certainty. And what you see before you are two spiritual leaders who have beliefs that are so strong, so rooted in principle and truth, that when their desires come forth, when they decide to believe in something, look what happens. After the belief, there's a decision. So we have the desire, we have the belief, and then we have the decision. a decision to step away from everything they knew and step into something they knew nothing about, a place where they had just visited, but recognized that no matter where they went, God was present in its perfection. And that perfection must demonstrate. And here you are, the perfection of their design, sitting here today, celebrating what we're doing. So, it's my great privilege at this point to introduce the Sacred Earth Choir under the directorship of Daniel Wilson.
This first song is called Shine Your Light, and it's a chant that repeats. So if you pick up the words and you'd like to join us, or you already know the song from hearing before, please join us. Shine your light.
What it means to be a minister, to the charge that they've given themselves. And so there is a great weight to this, an emotional weight. I find my own emotions popping up here, because every time this happens, I always ask myself, what are you doing? And so I invite you to be part of this installation by asking yourself, what are you doing in your life? What is your vocation? What are you installing today for yourself? What are you giving some thought to? And know what your serious quest and purpose is here on this planet. Today is your turn to do this. So members of the congregation of the Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, it is my joyous privilege to officially install as the founding spiritual directors of this center, Reverend Rita Andriello and Reverend Patrick Feren, being duly qualified for such responsibility, for having completed the required Centers for Spiritual Living instruction. Rita and Patrick have proven their understanding of religious science. And I would like to add, they have proven their understanding of the ancient wisdom of the universe that doesn't stop short at something like religious science, but encompasses all of the world's religions. Their high spiritual consciousness and consistent use of principle have made them an invaluable asset to the religions of the world, and most importantly, the Centers for Spiritual Living. Their caring and dedication have endeared them to the hearts of men. Ministry is a profession in the highest sense. It is also a business, requiring management skills, leadership ability, and financial understanding. Yet, it is still something much more. It is a calling from within to honor the truth of being, to remember who we are, and to serve that truth by bringing it forth in everyone we meet. It is a challenge to live by specific spiritual principles. It is a dedication and a consecration to the truth of these principles. It is a commitment to so share these principles with others that their lives may be transformed. And in transforming the lives of others, your lives too shall be transformed. Our program of teaching and our ministry of healing are based upon the following declaration of principles written by our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. Rita and Patrick have asked that the very first Center for Spiritual Living Kauai's Science of Mind Foundation class read the Declaration of Principles. So I welcome up here to you Carla Janae, Rob Jones, please come forward, Roseanne Jones, Malia Lucia, Rose Reed, Donna Schumacher, and Katie Welsh.
I want to speak for all of us, and I think I can do that safely, and say that we're so honored to be part of this ceremony. Thank you. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical, necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God.
We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and continuity of the individual soul, forever and ever expanding.
We believe that the kingdom of heaven is within, and we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it.
We believe the ultimate goal of life is to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all.
We believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one.
We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence.
We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God.
We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thoughts and acts upon it.
We believe in the healing conditions through the power of this mind.
We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all.
So did you get all that? There'll be a test after this. You know, listening to those being read, I have been a minister, this is my 10th year, and I've been in this teaching for 10 years prior to that. I'm still beginning to understand those principles. They may seem simple, and I'm sure they did, just like simple, are you crazy? They may seem simple when you first read them. Oh, I understand this. But our minds cognitively understanding something really doesn't do justice to what it means to embody these things when you finally get them. And so I'm just going to stick with one. For me, the most important of everything that was just read is that we are all one. That there is a oneness in this universe, and it's called God, and it doesn't matter what religion is saying God's name. There is only one. And that's really the gift of our philosophy and all philosophies. I grew up Catholic, and I grew up with the Baltimore Catechism. And I was asked the question as a 7-year-old, where is God? And the answer was, God is everywhere. Well, if God is everywhere, God must be where I am. Oh, wait a minute. God must be who I am. And it makes perfect sense. So oneness is really the great gift that all religions have to offer. And that, to me, is the most important one. Teaching ministers, for me, has been one of the most amazing gifts that this ministry has given me. I got to teach 11 ministerial students, and then 9 ministers that came out of that. And watching those ministers go off and start their own work, while it's a bit bittersweet when the children leave home, you have the empty nest syndrome, except that I still have some with me, who will leave home at some point and go off to their churches. It's a bittersweet thing, but it's also such an amazing thing, because what I realize is that they're my children, which means you're all my grandchildren. So, wherever I go, I am surrounded by my family. And it's just a beautiful thing. And before we started today, I started crying. I was like, I gotta stop this. You can't cry before we start. Wait till the end. So, I get to introduce now one of my ministerial children, the first one to leave the nest. He left the nest before the nest was even finished. Before he even, as soon as we said, you've passed, you're a minister, he was like, and I'm going to Toronto. And his ministry was waiting for him long before he even stepped into ministerial class. And, you know, this reverend, this minister, came out of our center with guns a-blazing, went to Toronto, and he has some of his congregants here, went to Toronto and took that city by storm. And where he has gone and where he is going is just astounding. So please let me welcome Reverend Jonathan Zenz.
Aloha.
Aloha.
I have just a few words today, and I want to start with some words of Ernest Holmes that are very special to me, which is why I asked for the textbook. So I invite you simply to relax right where you are and just hear these words. Peace be unto thee, stranger. Enter, and be not afraid. I have left the gate open, and thou art welcome to my home. There is room in my house for all. I have swept the hearth and lighted the fire. The room is warm and cheerful, and you will find comfort and rest within. The table is laid, and the fruits of life are spread before thee. The wine is here also. It sparkles in the light. I have set a chair for you, where the sunbeams dance through the shade. Sit and rest and refresh your soul. Eat of the fruit and drink the wine. All is yours, and you are welcome. These words of welcome. It is a reminder to me every moment to be cognizant of the fact that we are welcome wherever we go, in any experience of our life, because we are the ones who have attracted that into our life. And this is what I know is true for Rita and Patrick. And I tell you, we had lots of discussions about where our ministries would take us when we were going through ministerial school together. And I don't think at any time did you ever think that you would be in Kauai? No. I always knew I was going to be in Toronto. That's the truth. It came up quite frequently. But the truth is, we do know that no matter what, when we stop and we connect, when we go to that place of peace within, we are led to the right place, always. I also want to address the concept, this idea of ministry. That this is not Rita and Patrick's ministry. This is a community, and you are all ministers in your own right, and you have all been attracted to this experience with Rita and Patrick for this moment, only this moment. This is all there is nothing else. This is the only moment that exists. And when we give over to that, when we give over to the moment, and allow God to be revealed by means of each and every one of us, then we are living in true harmony and peace. We talk about this being a healing philosophy, and what we mean by that is that in every moment we have the opportunity to reveal the divine. And that's what healing is, a revealing of the divine from within. So as you have chosen your leaders for this community to take you on this path and to take you through this experience for however long you are part of this experience, honor and know that you have all been brought together by a common idea of oneness. And then I want to finish, really, with this idea, the final conclusion. This, for me, is one of the most important aspects of this very long book. Ernest Holmes writes this: in conclusion, what the world needs is spiritual conviction followed by spiritual experience. I would rather see a student of this science prove its principle than to have him repeat all the words of wisdom that have ever been uttered. It is far easier to teach the truth than it is to practice it. But the practice of truth is personal to each, and in the long run, no one can live our life for us. To each is given what he needs, and the gifts of heaven come alike to all. How we shall use these gifts is all that matters. To hold one's thoughts steadfastly to the constructive, to that which endures, and to the truth may not be easy in a rapidly changing world, but to the one who makes the attempt, much is guaranteed. The essence of spiritual mind healing and of all true religious philosophy is an inner realization of the presence of perfection within and around about. It is the hope of heaven, the voice of God proclaiming, I am that which thou art. Thou art that which I am. And so, I love you, and I know only the most extraordinary experience for you. Namaste.
Blessed be this sacred gathering. Blessed be this time of grace. Blessed be all of creation. Blessed, oh blessed are we. All the mothers and the fathers, and all of our children. And all of our friends. Blessed be this place of beauty. Blessed be this time of grace. Blessed be our love for one another. Blessed, oh blessed are we. weaving of this tapestry, blending of these family. Blessed be this holy union. Blessed, 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 oh blessed, blessed are we.
So, it is my pleasure to present Roseanne Jones and Brian McKenzie, two members of the Center of Spiritual Living Kauai Board of Trustees. And if you would come up to the microphone. Roseanne Jones and Brian McKenzie, do you, as authorized representatives of the Board of Trustees of this center, reaffirm that it is the will and desire of this center that Reverend Rita Andriello and Reverend Patrick Feren be installed as co-spiritual directors of this center?
We do. As representatives and members of the Board of Trustees of the Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, it is our pleasure and honor to state that both the Board of Trustees and the Center body request that Reverend Rita Andriello and Reverend Patrick Feren be installed as co-spiritual directors of this center.
Reverend Rita Andriello and Reverend Patrick Feren, do you accept as your faith the truth expressed in our Declaration principles? Do you, to the best of your ability, let these principles guide your life?
We do.
Will you help all those who come to you to understand the truth that we are immersed in the Spirit of God, that we are in God, that God is in us, that we are one in being? It is in fact who we are.
We do and will.
We will. Do you believe that the events, situations, and circumstances which we attract into our experience are the results of that which we think, feel, and imagine, and that the person who embodies what he or she wants to attract, regardless of what appears, will eventually experience in the outer realm what he or she has so faithfully seen in the inner realm? Rita and Patrick, you have made a great decision in your life. You have decided and dedicated yourself to live and teach this principle of truth. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Teach and practice, practice and teach. This is all we have. This is all we are good for, and this is all we ever ought to do. Teach and practice, practice and teach." Smart, intelligent, decisive people that when they decide to do something, they just do it. So they walked into our center, they started practitioner studies, they became practitioners. They went into ministerial studies, and you don't know me very well, most of you, but I'm not an easy teacher. As Terry Taylor is shaking his head in agreement with me. I really require people to step into their power and to live it, as this teaching says, not just to learn it. I'm not really that interested in people learning it so much as living it. And as Reverend Jonathan read, Ernest Holmes was all about the embodiment of this teaching. He said, I don't care if you don't remember a thing that's in this book. If you live as God from that consciousness, then you've gotten everything I had to offer. Well, I can tell you this. These two people so lived this teaching. It's really remarkable to have a student literally take what you have to offer and then expand it, as both of them have done. And I know coming here that they are poised to not only expand this teaching, but to live it in such a way that the teaching itself becomes eclipsed by the experiential. They're here to bring to this island an awareness of God that is found within each and every person. And the way they do that is by showing you what it looks like to live that way. And that's what I'm so proud of and so happy to be a part of. When Rita and Patrick asked me to come here and install them, of course, there was not even a question that I wanted to do it. But there was something inside of me that said that when you get there, something will be revealed. And I got here, and something has been revealed to me. And it's not just the oneness that we celebrate here today. It's not just that each one of us is a part of one great thing. It's that one great thing is a part of each and every one of us. It's taking this to the experiential level in such a way that the allness of God is wherever I go. It's not just that I am the wave of the ocean. I am the ocean itself. It's not that I am the leaf of a tree. I am the entire tree, the roots and all. And coming onto this island, it became so clear that what we are teaching lives on this island, lives this island, is this island. And that you are not just called here, you are beckoned here. Because I can't think of two people more equipped to bring that philosophy, that understanding to this island. Because the island already has it inherently in every fiber of its being. So that's what I get to celebrate today. And I get to bring Kauai back to North Hollywood, where they make movies about this stuff. So thank you for bringing me here. Thank you for calling these two people here. And I know that God is just, as each and every one of us is just cavelling. So at this point, we get to call back the Sacred Earth Choir.
The
Patrick. Your affirmation of faith makes all of us aware that the presence, which is God, is manifest in each of us. We rejoice that you have entered upon this path of service. We know that the light of truth will always guide you, and that the presence of God will always sustain your ministry of loving service. I charge you, Rita, Andriello, and Patrick Feren, as you progress as spiritual directors for this center, to remain steadfast and unwavering, to know that divine principle is the only power, to know that the presence of God will strengthen and sustain you, and to know that the one mind will inspire your loving, consecrated service throughout all of time and eternity. Will you keep this charge to the best of your ability to do so? Now, will all of you please rise? At this moment, I charge you, members and friends of this center, to help Reverend Rita and Reverend Patrick, to honor them, to support them with your treatments, your dedication, and your love. Will you keep this charge to the best of your ability to do so? Reverend Rita, you may be seated. Reverend Rita and Reverend Patrick, acting upon the authority vested in me by the Leadership Council of the Centers for Spiritual Living, I hereby, at the request of your Board of Trustees, install you as spiritual directors of the Center for Spiritual Living, Kauai, if you could bestow them with their leis. And now, just like in a wedding, where you get to present the bride and groom for the first time, I present to you your spiritual directors, the Reverend Rita Andriello and the Reverend Patrick Feren.
So I get to have the first word and the last word. No. This has been quite a ceremony, and it's just exemplary of this Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, because we are a community and we're really in the moment, and we just go with spirit, and whatever happens we just take a little step and just go again. And I thank everybody that is here today in service, and also just here today to honor this center and to be here, and in your support and your love, and thank you so much. So much of this is just, I can't even speak the words. So it's interesting because Reverend Jonathan used the quote I was going to use. So, and then I was going through the Science of Mind textbook going, oh, I gotta find another quote, and it kept going back to that quote. So you've already done it for me, so I don't have to do it again. But I will talk on that, and I want to start with this idea of calling, because I know it can sound cliche on the island of Kauai that you were called here, but and a lot of people say that, but you either are called or you're not called. And I was most definitely called. And when I say that, I got off the plane on my, for those of you who don't know me, I got off the plane on my vacation that was supposed to be like a honeymoon that we never got, and we were getting after 12 years. And I said, oh my God, because we were looking for a place to start a center. We knew we wanted to start our own work because we had a very definite idea of what we wanted to do, and that was to awaken man to its magnificence, humanity to its magnificence in our own unique way of doing that. So anyway, when I got off the plane, I went to Patrick, this is the place. And I had never been here, but I knew from the time that I was told I could go to Hawaii, that I wanted to go to Kauai, even though I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anybody here. Well, there was one person, I'll mention her in a moment, but I didn't know she was living here at the time. But so I was most definitely called here. And in ministerial school, there's a question on the test that says, what is the most important thing that a minister brings to their ministry? And is it money? Is it, investments? Is it this? Is it that? But the correct answer is consciousness. And basically, I came here with the consciousness that, as Reverend James said before, that I knew that I was setting something into motion with my declaration that I wanted to start a center here with my husband. And I got out of the way of how it was going to happen, and I let go of everything I knew back there and just stepped into the void, like in, what's it called? Raiders of the Lost Ark, whatever that movie is. I just stepped in, and I can guarantee you that when you do that, when you've made a decision and you do that, the universe catches you. And it was just one thing after another just fell into place. And here, I mean, look. It was like a bowl that was open, and then we just jumped into it. And we created the mold in our mind, and it just was filled. This morning I had a dream when I woke up. Well, before I woke up. I don't know, I was in that zone. And the ocean was like right by my bedroom window, and I don't live by the ocean. I live about 5-minute walk away, 10-minute walk. And the whales were pounding on my bedroom window. The ocean was right there, and there were 2 large whales, and they were pounding on the window, and they were flipping their tails. And I said, Patrick, they're going to break the glass, open the window. And he opened the window, and none of the water came in, but they were still there, and one of them turned and looked at me in the eye. And then I went to go get my guests who were in the house, Reverend James and Reverend Jonathan, and then I woke up, because it was over. But that dream had significance to me, because I don't know a lot about the whale. I know I'm very, very tied to the ocean and the dolphins and the whales, but it's this center for spiritual living Kauai. When I came here, I knew it was something larger than me. Larger, so much larger than I was, and it was carrying me with it. And there was nothing I really had to do but just be in the middle of the ocean and be with it, and just let it take me step by step, inch by inch. Just go with it. Don't think about it, Rita. Just do your planning that you have to do, but just be in the moment, moment to moment to moment. I believe in the present moment. The present moment, if we could live in the present moment, we wouldn't have any worries at all. We wouldn't be concerned. We wouldn't be worried about our bills. We wouldn't be worried about anything, because we'd be in the present moment, just letting Spirit take us. And I can just tell you that being in the present moment and being in the center and allowing the center to take me on its journey is what's made it possible. And I'm not versed in the Hawaiian culture, but I never want to do anything unauthentically. So I am learning. I have a Kumu teaching me the hula. I'm learning the culture as much as I can, because when I introduce it into the center, because we are so much the same, the things that I have read about the Hawaiian religion is so similar to what we teach, because it's a universal truth. So I'm so grateful for you to be here, Sabra, so grateful for you to be here. Because as I introduce it, I just want to introduce it in authentically, and not be fake about it. So I'm just so in love with Kauai, so in love with this science-minded spirit, so in love with God, so in love with each and every one of you. And I just want you to know that I am here. I am here to serve. That's why I'm here. I'm not here for anything else. And what Reverend James said before, or maybe it was Reverend Jonathan, I think it might have been you, about this being a community center. It's not about me and Patrick. It's about our community. Patrick and I know our major thing is to grow leaders and the community, and to create the spirit of Ohana that is so prevalent here, and to just take care of each other. And I've just seen that happening today, and since I've been here, just one thing after another. It's a community, and just Metatron coming up and making sure the music stand was in the right place. Thank you for that. And Gabby picking up the paper off the floor. It's just like that all the time here, and I love the feeling of the Ohana and the community and the spirit of that love that you share with us. So I'm here to serve. I'm here to awaken myself to my magnificence. That's the most important thing. And then as I awaken myself, and then I can look into each and one of your eyes, allow you to feel what I know about you, which is your magnificence, as we say every Sunday. And as I'm not going to quote the quote that Jonathan quoted, but there's a part of it that says it's one thing to know this teaching, I don't know it by heart, to know this teaching, and another thing to practice it. And to live it. And that's what I'm here to do, is to live it. Because that's what I love about this teaching, is that we are challenged to practice it and live it and prove it. Otherwise, it doesn't do us any good to know that we are magnificent and that we are this, and to sit under a palm tree and meditate if we can't go out and use it, as my husband says, at Foodland. So, I am here to serve. I am here to, I said, awaken myself to my magnificence and each and every one of you. And I just want to say that I so appreciate all your love, all your support. I love you. My heart is just very filled with love in every single solitary moment. And this is just amazing. I'm speechless right now. So I'm going to hand the microphone over to my beautiful husband.
Wow. I think all that's left for me to say right now is mahalo. But if you know me well, you know I would never stop at that. This is what I know. I also have a quote that's been thrown all around the room today, so I'm just going to paraphrase this quote by Neil Donald Walsh, the author of Conversations with God. And he talks about leadership. And we question a lot of times what is a leader. And he says a leader does not say, follow me. A leader says, I'll go first. And that's what I feel that this ministry, for me, is all about. I'm trying to not to have the sun in my eyes just because, I don't know, it's uncomfortable. So this is what I know. I know that today is so much about community. If we really, really took a movie of what went on before all of this moment happened, you would really know what community is. And I mean that all from not only the service, but just the consciousness that went behind it and coming from it. We have been so loved and so honored since we arrived here. And I will say that it was a bold move on the part of my beautiful, beautiful co-spiritual director and wife, and I call her my partner. It was a bold move. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. And I know that I heard those calls in some deep recesses of my being. I heard something say, come. Come. We need to work together, and we need to wake up and remember who we are. I have always said we've been in some kind of an amnesiac state. And so, yes, we are all about the teachings of science of mind, but we are also about the teaching of remembering who and what we are. And I believe we have not even begun to tap it. To say this great source of life, as I've said many times, this breath of life had an idea. And it said, Patrick, I have an idea. And with every one of your names on it, that's how important we are. That's how valued we are on this planet. And we are making an incredible difference. this reminds me of getting married. I was telling Reverend James, I said, it's just like, the night before, and I was, joking around, because I do have a tendency to have a little jokes here and there. But that in My Fair Lady, I'm getting married in the morning. And I really felt as though Rita had 20, I'll take 22. No, I'm just kidding. But what I remembered about wedding days is that Rita, when I married Rita, we did our vows. And I said to her, I promise you never to stay the same. Because so many times, you remember in the yearbooks and all that, stay the way you are. Stay the way you are, just the way you are. Don't change. And I'm working with a creative force that lives and has its being through me that never says stay the same. And that's what I ask all of us today as a community coming together. Whether or not you ever come through the doors of CSL Kauai again, it doesn't matter, because we still belong to one another. We are one family, and nothing can take that away. And the people that we have never met, the people that we will never meet, we are one, and no one can take that away. I am honored, I am privileged to stand before you today and say I do. And I promise you, I will never, ever stay the same. I will grow, I will expand, not actually expand, but I will. I'm actually going to go the other way on that particular way. But just to let you know that I really believe that this consciousness is expanding. And once we get out of the way and let this power, this force move through us, as us, then we will truly know what freedom is. As I've said before, I'm looking at each and every one of you, and I am not afraid at all, even if we've never met, to say, I love you. I not only love you because it sounds good, I'm in love with you. And I'm in love with myself. And boy, that is what I call a beautiful marriage. Namaste. Oh, thank goodness. I was so uncomfortable not presiding.
We're about ready to close, and we have a very special, amazing closing. But I know, Patrick, you probably want to say this about the Sacred Earth Choir, because this was your...
I was actually telling Daniel earlier about, I went to see them in performance in this beautiful house, and I can't say the name of it, so why try? But it's way up on the hill. It was so beautiful, and I saw them for the first time. And I said, right in that moment, there was an intention set. I said, they will be at our center. I don't know how, I don't know when, but they will be here. And for you to be here on this day that means so much to myself and Rita and all of us, I just say thank you.
And I want to say thank you to everyone for being here, and everyone, I can't mention all the names, okay, at this point, but there's so many. I mean, every seat is someone who helped in some way. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And to Reverend James, thank you for coming across the ocean for us. And my love, Reverend Jonathan, thank you for coming across a continent and an ocean. And thank you, Kumu and Sabra, thank you so much again for coming. Mahalo. And Reverend Suzanne and Reverend Roy, thank you. Thank you. Everyone, thank you. I could go on and on. And Jackie, the first person I ever knew here, and I won't go on and on. I'm just going to bring up the Sacred Earth Choir, and we're going to sing our way out of here and pray our way out of here. And we are going to go to the picnic. I hope you're all coming.
Green oceans, bless your endless skies, streams and your valleys, your mountains so high. Bless your gods and goddesses, with the same tongue. Let's all planet under one sky. All the people on it. We all laugh and we all cry. Let's all planet. Place upon earth. We are all one family. We're children of the earth. Bless your vibrant cities. Bless your sacred ground. Still skies and forests, and bless your tiny towns. Bless the winged ones that fly. Bless the horse and bear. Elephant and dolphin, the cricket and the hare. We speak 1,000 languages. We speak with the same tongue. Let's all planet under one sky. All the people on it. We all laugh and we all cry. Let's all planet. Place upon earth. We are all one family. We're children of the earth.
Here's what I know, and I do know it. There is only one presence. There is only one love. There is only one light, one essence of all life, one source. And it is in everything. It is everything. It doesn't care what we call it. It is everything. And we are everything in it. And I know that we are blessed. We are blessed, each and every one of us, as this one presence manifesting and demonstrating individually as each and every one of us uniquely as our own selves, living God, living source, living spirit, living life as we choose to live it. What a powerful thing, what a beautiful thing, what a magnificent thing. And what I know for each and every person here today is that perfection of life, that thing which we are, that source, that energy is vibrant, alive, perfect. It's manifested in each and every part of our lives, in our health, in our livelihoods, in our every part of ourselves, our relationships, every place that we decide to be and to express creativity. We are so perfect. We are life. We are source.
And as that sun beams down on me, there's no longer any discomfort, because what is there is the absolute communion with nature, with life itself. And I know we have come here today for celebration, not just of Rita and I, but the celebration of each and every one of us here. And on this island, and Mother Kauai, who has just put her arms around each and every one of us and said, "You are home. I am here. You are home. I am here." And with a heart that is overflowing, I say mahalo, 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 mahalo. And the wind takes that mahalo out into the world, out into the universe, and it says, "I am here. You are here." So with a grateful heart, I just release this word, knowing that by authority of who and what I am and who and what Rita is God is good. And I release it. I release it with mahalo, knowing that it will manifest perfectly, easily, effortlessly. With such love, I release it. As together we say, and so it is.
Bless our planet under one sky. All the people on it, we all laugh and we all cry. Bless our planet, place upon earth. We are all one family. We're children of the earth.
Director here for Center of Spiritual Living, and I feel so blessed to be a part of this ohana, this community, and I'm so grateful for today. What a beautiful outflow of love. It coming in and coming out of everybody here, and so grateful to have Reverend Rita and Reverend Patrick here. We're very blessed. They brought us together. They're bringing this big family together in a beautiful way. So, and blessing the whole planet while doing so. So I want to say thank you, mahalo.